Hey, welcome to iBuzz Pro. This is a great thing that you've done by buying iBuzz Pro. This is the fastest marketing tool, I think, in existence. Because literally, you can send out a broadcast and within 12 to 15 minutes, you can have yourself 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 leads, depending on how big your list is that you're broadcasting to and how good your message is in reaching those people. So there's a lot of variables having to do with succeeding with iBuzz Pro. iBuzz Pro itself, the company, is going to teach you how to do the mechanics of voice broadcasting. It's fairly similar to what it was like when you were 15 years old and you got your driver's permit and you were learning how to drive and you were getting ready to take your exam, and your mother or your father, your sister, your brother, your uncle, whoever it was giving you driving lessons and letting you drive around. It's like that. You got to know where things are, where the turn signal is, how you look behind if you're going to make a turn. You look, you don't just rely on the rear view mirrors, where the clutch is if you had to learn how to drive on a clutch, and all the different things, how to brake right, and all the different components to make up driving, so you practice at it and then you get it. And it's the same thing with iBuzz Pro. There's the mechanics of succeeding with sending out voice broadcasts. But I will tell you one thing, you have to be methodical in this. You have to be thorough, you have to be methodical, you have to really pay attention. So this training site that you're on is basically going to show you where all the different things are in iBuzz Pro to help you gather it all together and understand how to do it, okay? And there's a bunch of stuff on this site which is going to make life a lot easier for you. When I first started, I didn't have anything. I just went to the webinars and I wasn't really paying attention. I was convinced that I was not going to be able to do this properly. And when I did my first broadcast, I proved to myself that I was completely wrong, and it was so much easier than I thought it was ever going to be. And on my very first broadcast, I got 32 leads in less than 15 minutes, and I was completely and totally floored and flabbergasted, and I made a sale on my very first call. So, and I was completely like a dummy, and like convinced that I was going to fail miserably, and I succeeded in spite of myself. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give you sort of the lay of the land in terms of how broadcasting works, okay? And there's a video on how to do this in your back office tour, which I'm going to give you below. And the company is going to give you live webinars to teach you what's on the video. So you're going to get an abundance of training for how to do this, but let me just lay it out for you, okay? You're going to set up a broadcast. It's going to be on a certain day, your first one. Let's say it's Tuesday at 2 o'clock or Tuesday at 6 o'clock, whatever it happens to be, whenever you want it to be. Okay, it could be Saturday at 4 o'clock. It could be whenever you want it to be. There's no best time to broadcast. Any time is a good time to broadcast between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., okay? In fact, you can't even send out a broadcast if it's earlier than 9 a.m. or later than 9 p.m. You cannot make a mistake. The system won't send it out if it's before 9 a.m. or after 9 p.m., okay? The only time that's probably not a good time to broadcast is Sundays, like up until 3 o'clock. People go to church, people have family things that they do. You can broadcast Sunday after 3 or 4 o'clock, that's fine. But Sunday, anytime up until 3 o'clock on Sunday is no good, but anytime in the week other than that is just fine. So in step 1 of your campaign area, which you'll see on the video, which I'm going to show you in the back office, you're going to establish the time, the date, and the time that you're going to send the broadcast out, okay? And what you really need to understand is this, okay? There's basically, you can send a broadcast out to people that answer the phone live. You can send a broadcast out to people that have their answering machines on, or you can do both. What I personally do is I choose live answer only. so that I'm only broadcasting to people that are picking up the phone. I find that that works the best. And this is where you determine this is on the step 1 of your campaign setup area. Okay? And so that's the first thing you need to understand. Live only, answering machines only, live and answering machines. So you can broadcast only to pick up people to pick up the phone. You can broadcast only to answering machines, or you can broadcast to people who pick up the phone and have answering machines. So that's a really, really important thing to understand. Now also on step 1, you're going to identify where you want the call to go to, when people press 1 to learn more. That's what happens. You're going to set that up in step 1. They're going to press 1 to learn more, and you determine what happens when they press 1. Okay? And there's basically 2 things that can happen. Number 1, you can put your phone number in there, your personal phone number or your cell phone number in there. And so when they press 1, they're going to be transferred to you live. It's live. Okay? And you can have a conversation with them. I don't personally do that because I don't want to get overwhelmed. Because it's very easy to get overwhelmed with this. You can very easily get 20 leads come into you in like 15 minutes. And if that's all coming to you live, for me there's too much randomity there. I can't handle that. And I also know a guy who crashed his phone system doing that. Okay? The best thing to do is get a voice messaging system, which is on this site. You can get the one from iBuzz Pro with the 800 number for $34.95 a month, but you don't have to do that. You can if you want. You don't have to. You can use what's called eVoice, which is $5 a month, so that when they press 1, they leave their name and their phone number, and you call them back. Okay? When they leave their name and their phone number, this is a commercial-grade voice messaging system, by the way, which can handle, unlimited phone calls coming on at one time. That's the key. That's why you don't necessarily want to use your home phone number or your cell phone, because you can jam it. You know, if you get 30 leads come in less than 10 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, your system can jam up, because it happened to a guy I know. Okay? So you want to use a commercial grade voice messaging system, and when you get the message, it's going to come to you, each message is going to come to you as an email, and you just simply open the email and you click a link in the email, and you can listen to the person leaving you their name and their phone number. It's very cool.